Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Dong Report, where I give out my favorite MLB home run picks of the day. This is Jedi Modag with Jedi Sports Network, and let's chat about some dongs. So for today, I got 3 home run picks for you guys to lock in. Of course, before we can do anything, we got to do a recap from yesterday, which I wish I didn't have to do because the cold streak continues. I gave out 3 picks on this YouTube channel yesterday. Unfortunately, did not get any of those 3 to cash. End the day 0-3, down 3 units. That brings our total profit on the Dong Report season to date down to plus 39.15 units with a 7.82% ROI. Obviously, being up just under 40 units on the season is good, but this cold streak that we are in recently has been brutal. Hopefully, we can turn it around today. As I mentioned, I got 3 more dong picks for you guys today. Real quick, before we get into it, if you are not already, would appreciate it if you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. And let's get into these dongs. So play number 1 in the Yankees versus Rays game. We're taking Aaron Judge to hit a home run plus 310 odds at FanDuel. Now, the scary part here, I'll just go ahead and get this out at the front, is that they're pitching up, the Yankees are pitching up against Tyler Glasnow, obviously an ace pitcher for the Rays. But that's also why we're getting plus 310 odds. If you look at the historical odds of Aaron Judge, recently they've been down to like plus 200, in some books even in the high plus 100s, which is crazy for a home run. Now, Glasnow is obviously awesome, but he's not infallible. He's got a 3.3 ERA with an expected ERA above 4, so it's not as though he's completely unhittable. And when he gives up hits, he does seem to give up hits that are hit pretty well. He's got a barrel percentage allowed of 15%, which is really, really bad. Now, obviously, he gets a lot of swings and misses. He's an elite strikeout pitcher, but if you can get a hold of one, you can really get a hold of one. And Judge has been phenomenal recently, has been playing insane. He's got 28 home runs on the year, which is obviously good, but when you realize that he's missed 6 weeks, sounds a lot better. But even if you just look recently, he's got 6 home runs in his last 10 games. Obviously, that includes the 3 home run day he had just a couple days ago against the Nationals. Overall, he's hit at least 1 home run in 4 of his last 7 games. And unsurprisingly, his advanced stats are just silly as well. If you look at his last 2 weeks, ISO rate is at 40%, which is crazy. Didn't hit one yesterday. I'm confident that will change today. Cashing our first home run pick. Next up, in the Royals versus Mariners game, we are taking Bobby Witt Jr. to hit a home run. That is at plus 500 odds at DraftKings. Now, for this play, Cal Raleigh was an honorable mention, but we are officially going with Bobby Witt Jr. Young shortstop for the Royals has been on fire as well. He's got 26 home runs on the year, and he's got a total of 4 in his last 10 games. And if you look even more recently, he's hit at least 1 home run in 2 of his last 4 games as well. So I love looking at batters that are on some sort of recent hot streak, recent success, because baseball is such a long season. Looking at someone's season-long ISO rate isn't always super helpful because what someone did in April doesn't necessarily apply till now. So I do like looking at how batters are performing recently. And like I said, Witt's been on fire. He's been playing very, very well. In the month of August, he's hit a total of 8 home runs, and he's got an ISO rate of 34.8%. Now, I should have mentioned this in the Judge section. ISO rate stands for isolated power, literally measures how much power a batter has. Anything that is 25% and above is considered excellent. So Bobby Witt Jr. being at 34.8% in the past 2 weeks, that's obviously very good. Now, this is looking at his entire season, and I know I just said that that's not helpful, but I'm going to get into that. His entire year, his barrel rate, which literally measures how well he hits the barrel of the bat, is at 11.6%. For that number, anything 10% and above is considered great. So not in the excellent category, which is 15% and above, but obviously still very good. Now, one thing that is unfortunate is that StatCast, which is what tracks barrel rate, doesn't allow you to filter against right or left-handed pitching, doesn't allow you to filter for any sort of time frame like you can for other advanced stats. But if you look at Bobby Witt Jr.'s advanced stats month over month, they've literally gone up. They've increased every single month of the year from April till August. We're talking ISO rate, WOBA, WRC+, all of these advanced stats have gone up and are currently peaking in August. So while I can't calculate specifically barrel rate, we can presume that that stat is going up as well as the season goes on. So the fact that his season long rate is still in the great category, that's good for us. And then lastly, this is the second best weather game of the day, 4 home runs to be hit. Absolutely love Bobby Witt Jr. to hit one for us, cashing this plus 500 play. And last up, in the Athletics versus White Sox game, we're taking Shea Langeliers to hit a home run plus 520 odds at FanDuel. Now, Zach Gelof was an honorable mention for this game as well. And this is the juiciest weather game of the day. And I got to admit, I was really heavily debating between Gelof and Langeliers. So we're only going to track Langeliers officially on the Dong Report, but I did put some on Gelof as well, just to be completely upfront. But talk about another guy who is just on fire in Langeliers. He's hit 4 home runs in his last 5 games alone, hitting at least 1 home run in 3 of them. Now, just a couple days ago, he went yard twice on August 24th. Didn't hit one yesterday, but he has been playing well recently as well. On the year, and this is why you like to look at recent stats, his ISO rate on the entire year, 18.1%. Not that great, literally not even in the great category, but let's look at things a little more recently. In the month of August alone, pretty big sample size, the entire month, right? We're at the 26th of the month. ISO rate is up to 27.6%. That's considered excellent. If you look at the last 2 weeks, that number jumps up to 37.1%. That is like Matt Olson, Shohei Ohtani type numbers. That's how good that ISO rate is. Now, this is obviously a pretty tiny sample size, so you can't take much out of it, but it is just comical, so I had to look into it. In the last week alone, his ISO rate is 70%, which is unheard of. I mean, you'll never get a prolonged stretch at 70%, but hopefully we could take advantage of the stretch that he's currently in. Obviously, not super surprising having a super high ISO rate with this recent power surge, but it's still kind of crazy to look at. He's also a little bit better against right-handed pitching versus left-handed pitching, and he will be facing up against a right-handed pitcher for the White Sox. So love Shea Langeliers to hit a home run for us, cashing our third and final play. Remember, I put 1 unit on each play individually, and then I put a small sprinkle $5-10 on the parlay as well. Let's hope we can get all 3 of those to cash. If you're tailing, comment and let me know. Other than that, as I mentioned, remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you could like the video as well, it would help me out a ton. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.